In-Flight News, presented for Qantas by the 9 Television Network of Australia.
Hello and welcome to the Morning News. I'm Julie Snook. Ahead in this bulletin, cool conditions help firefighters battle blazes raging across New South Wales. A breakthrough arrest in the Madeleine McCann investigation, and how new Labor leader Bill Shorten plans to take down the Prime Minister. A cool southerly change and light rain has brought some relief to firefighters battling a number of blazes around New South Wales. In Webbs Creek, northwest of Sydney, fires continue to burn, with some residents urged to evacuate overnight.
Everyone got evacuated down to the waterfront, and then we were told to start heading out. They gave us like a 10-minute window to get out of here, and then we didn't want to go, so we stayed.
5 properties have been engulfed by flames in Salt Ash, just north of Newcastle. There are 60 fires alight across the state, but the RFS says favourable weather conditions will help strengthen containment lines. In Sydney now, and firefighters have worked throughout the night to investigate the cause of a blaze which tore through Sydney Olympic Park. An entire row of vehicles was incinerated, with flames jumping from car to car. It's not yet known what caused the inferno, but it is thought either a cigarette butt or hot exhaust pipe on the dry grass next to the car park sparked the fire.
Bill Shorten and Anthony Albanese relaxed, united, on the way to learn their fate. And after a 4-week campaign and 2 votes, Labor's third leader in 5 months.
Bill Shorten won the vote.
Bill Shorten, former union boss, one of Labor's so-called faceless men, now opposition leader and the face of the party.
Today is a brand new day for the Australian Labor Party.
The 46-year-old beat Anthony Albanese in the revamped leadership election, split 50-50 between 86 MPs and over 30,000 rank-and-file members. Mr Shorten easily won the caucus vote with 63.95%, won only 40.08% of the rank and file, but ended with a winning total of 52.02%.
The members have spoken, the Labor Party has spoken. This is a great honour.
Mr Albanese won the party membership vote by 6,000, but it still wasn't enough.
Bill Shorten will be a great Labor leader. He has my total loyalty in that position.
Bill Shorten says he won't be negative, promised to unite the party despite his role in toppling 2 prime ministers, and to draw a line under the division and bitterness under Julia Gillard and Kevin Rudd.
I believe that the best days of Labor are yet to come.
There was a twist in this tale. Bill Shorten is the son-in-law of Governor-General Quentin Bryce, who offered to stand down to avoid any perception of bias. The Prime Minister said it wasn't necessary. Tanya Plibersek is expected to be deputy. Lane Kelcart, 9 News.
A bus has plunged off a cliff in Peru's southeast, killing all 51 people on board. The driver reportedly lost control of the vehicle at Santa Teresa, sliding off the road and tumbling 200 metres into the river below. The high-altitude roads of the Peruvian Andes are notorious for bus crashes, with poor farmers compromising many of the victims.
The Bandidos Gold Coast kingpin, 23-year-old Adam White, marched from his Carindale home in cuffs. A police raid allegedly uncovered steroids. The pressure on bikies greater than ever.
Very serious about the mission, which is to eliminate criminal motorcycle gangs from Queensland.
White was one of 11 bikies arrested from Mount Isa to the border. In a 24-hour blitz, every single gang in Queensland was targeted.
We're going to take what action we can, whenever we can.
It wasn't just here. Police in every state and territory were rolled out for Operation Patch. 57 bikies and associates were arrested for offences ranging from assault to firearms. More than 122 vehicles were searched, 79 search warrants executed, and 125 bail checks completed.
It came at the request of Queensland. We believe that to be effective in our job, that it really has to be a national approach.
Their reach even spread to Hobart. The Mongols Clubhouse, the American-based club branded the most dangerous in the world, was also raided. Even gang members already behind bars weren't safe, tested for drugs and their weapons seized.
Small blades that are made from different materials that in any other language are a knife.
Police say it's not going to stop. Chris O'Keefe, 9 News.
West Footscray Station has been completely rebuilt as part of the Regional Rail Link project, but it was still wet and windswept as the Premier and Transport Minister toured it.
Beautiful day.
It features full disabled access and plenty of signs laying down the law.
Definitely no smoking.
Currently, that ban only applies to undercover areas, but from early next year it will be extended.
And this means that all railway station platforms, there'll be a complete ban on smoking.
Lighting up will also become illegal at tram super stops, but most passengers aren't complaining.
Oh, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I don't want him to be inhaling it, and I'm sure you don't want to inhale it either.
Smells yuck.
The ban will be enforced by police, PSOs and authorised officers, with a $212 penalty for adults and $72 for minors.
We've found with our ban on smoking on beaches that the people police it themselves when they know that ban's in place.
The Cancer Council has applauded the move but says the government needs to go further. It wants a ban on smoking in alfresco dining areas.
That will be the big one. I mean, that's where people are exposed to second-hand smoking in large quantities.
We are making logical, sound, progressive steps to remove smoking and ban smoking from areas that are appropriate.
Andrew Lund, 9 News.
Cool change and light rain has brought some relief to firefighters battling a number of blazes around New South Wales. Today, reporter Natalia Cooper joins us now from Port Stephens on the state's mid-north coast. Natalia, what are the conditions like where you are this morning?
Well, Deb, it's definitely a lot cooler out here and the winds are very light. And last night it absolutely bucketed down out here, which definitely gave firefighters the upper hand. And they do believe they almost have this contained. Today they'll just be working to strengthen those containment lines. Now, these two major fires in Port Stephens, this one here in Saltash and the other was in Fingal Bay. When they took hold yesterday, people either had to stay and fight to save their homes and other people were evacuated. As you can see, it's still smouldering here. There are still pockets of fire smouldering, and right behind that is actually someone's home. So they actually did some amazing work to save their home, but other people weren't so lucky. There are unconfirmed reports that 5 properties have either been lost or damaged out here in the Saltash area, Deb.
Yeah, some very difficult conditions for fire crews yesterday. What is the latest on the other blazes burning across the state?
Well, look, we have 60 fires burning across the state, and there were 4 major ones yesterday, the 2 here in Port Stephens, one at Webbs Creek and another at Singleton. But again, the weather has helped firefighters to gain the upper hand. They'll do some back burning today to strengthen those containment lines, and look, fingers crossed they'll have it under control by the end of the day. There was also that fire yesterday out at Sydney Olympic Park. Absolutely incredible scenes when dozens of cars went up in flames. They do believe that that was started either by a cigarette butt or an exhaust pipe on dry grass. So just such a busy day and busy night for firefighters and a frightening night for residents here in Saltash, Deb.
Yeah, indeed. We'll check in with you a little later. Natalia, thank you. A leaked scientific report has warned the number of people expected to die from extreme heat will triple in Sydney by the end of the century. The unreleased draft obtained by News Corp has revealed Australia's southeast is a global climate change hotspot. The report also warns extreme fire dangers will increase 30% by 2020. Labor MPs will vote on a fresh shadow ministry after Bill Shorten was voted the party's new leader. 9 News reporter Ben Avery joins us now from Canberra. So, Ben, who's expected to make up the new cabinet?
Yeah, good morning, Deb. Well, it does appear that Tanya Plibersek will almost certainly be selected as Bill Shorten's deputy, but beyond that, I guess time will tell. There is talk that Chris Bowen is favourite to become the shadow treasurer, but I guess then Mr Shorten will need to look at the people who served in the ministry prior to the election to perhaps fill the remainder of those roles. And I guess it will be interesting to see whether Kevin Rudd gets a position on that front bench, and at this stage that's certainly no guarantee. Now, the opposition leader was, of course, yesterday elected by a large majority of his caucus room, around 64% of them, so perhaps he has more backing from his colleagues than many expected, but the vote among the rank and file members was quite low, just 40%, so he does have a bit to prove among the 30,000 odd people who voted in that ballot. So today, Deb, as you mentioned, Mr Shorten will meet with his MPs to select that deputy and then the front bench team. Then on Friday, we're expected to be told how the portfolios have been allocated. So From there, I guess it's down to business for the new look Labor, and it does appear that the first challenge will be stopping the coalition from dismantling the carbon tax, because that is something that Tony Abbott certainly appears very determined to do. Deb?
Ben, thank you. And the new Labor leader, former Queensland surgeon Jayant Patel, on trial for allegedly causing grievous bodily harm to a patient, could learn his fate today when the jury returns to court. Live now to Today reporter Ashton Krukellis. Ashton, the jurors will be revisiting some new evidence today, an unusual development.
Yeah, that's right, Deb. After more than a full day of deliberations, the jury has indicated it's in a stalemate over some issues. So it has asked the judge for a transcript of some of the evidence presented by one particular witness, a doctor. So that will be the first thing that is looked at in court this morning. Now, this jury has been asked to consider whether former surgeon Jayant Patel is guilty or not of causing grievous bodily harm to his former patient Ian Vowles in Bundaberg in 2004. The Crown alleges that Patel unnecessarily removed Mr Vowles' colon and rectum, causing him to live with the consequences ever since, and also that he was given no alternative to the surgery.
Morning to you, Lisa and Carl. We're spending our Monday morning underneath the Sydney Harbour Bridge, which would have been a very hot day, a very hot place to spend your day yesterday, Sydney topping 36 degrees. But as has been the case over the last couple of weeks, at least we get a hot day and then it cools down. That cool change has swept through New South Wales and also Queensland over the last 24 hours, bringing with it some rain and also much cooler temperatures. And such is fact after the fact of the cooler change, we're actually going to get snow on top of the alpine ranges in both New South Wales and Victoria today. It's pretty crazy stuff. We'll tell you a little bit more about that, though, straight after we take a look at your capital cities and see what's happening at your place today. If you are in Cairns, it's looking like a showery day, a top of 31 degrees. Wet weather also in Townsville. If you are in Brisbane, the chance of an early storm topping 30 degrees and 27 showers clearing if you're on the Gold Coast. Afternoon showers and morning showers as well, actually, if you're in Sydney, a top of 20 degrees, 17 and the possibility of afternoon showers in Canberra. Wet weather due in Melbourne as well, topping 16. Much cooler in Hobart, showers clearing and 14 degrees. 18 and a couple of morning showers again in Adelaide. Sunny in Perth though, a top of 24. Clear in the Alice, 26 degrees, and afternoon gusty storms are expected in Darwin with a top of 34 degrees. We'll take a look at the forecast rainfall. Showers and thunderstorms over the Kimberley and northern interiors of WA today. Scattered showers over southern Victoria, falling as snow above 1,000 metres, which is actually pretty low. Showery over Tasmania too, falling at snow above 500 metres, but rising to 1,000 metres by evening. If you are in New South Wales, it's looking pretty clear in the northeast today. Isolated showers and thunderstorms over southern Queensland, while showers and isolated thunderstorms pepper northern tropical areas as well. Well, it's been a bit of a trend over the last couple